Hello there everybody, Sublime to Economer, and welcome back to Higurashi Kai's Tsumihoroboshi. Did I get that right? I think I did. Anyway, in the last episode we got rid of a couple of leeches, so that was pretty good. Although I'm not entirely sure what kind of direction the story is going to take. Then again, it's Higurashi. I need to stop trying to figure out what's going to happen next and rather just experience what's going to happen next, because Lord knows I can never predict what's going to happen next. Anyway, let's jump right back in. Okay. Let's go. Oh. No! Okay, that's a good way to start it.
It's been very hot for the past few days, and the corpses went rotten very fast. Any housewife knows how fast fresh meat can go bad.
No shit!
I know it too. That's why the first thing I did was to dismember the corpses.
Oh my.
There's only one reason why I need to dismember them. I need to reduce them to a portable size so that I can carry them to a place where they'll never be found.
Ooh.
When men see the words dismembered corpses, they'll probably feel disgusted because they don't cook.
Not really? I was more or less shocked. Then again, I kind of do cook, so...
But housewives are used to taking guts out from fish, and they sometimes even see moving maggots on fish or meat.
That is true.
They take off the maggots from the food, or even cook it with some maggots still on it.
Yeah.
They do that because they know heat kills them. They just don't show men what they do in the kitchen because men wouldn't eat the food if they saw it.
Really? I heard maggots taste like chicken. Kidding, you don't.
So, this doesn't really bother me much, to dismember them. I was released from all my problems by killing them. Cleaning up the mess was like nothing to me, because I got freedom and regained happiness. I dismember the corpses using carpenter's tools like a saw and a hatchet. I'm wearing a black sweatsuit I bought for today because I thought I might get stained with the blood. Bloodstains don't show on black, and I can just throw it away after it's done. I brought a plastic sheet I found in the trash piles because I thought I might spread the blood. If I do the work on this sheet, I can just burn it after it's done. In the end, dismembering human bodies is no different from cooking food on a cutting board.
Well... You having fun?
I'm very tired from dismembering the two big adult bodies, but I didn't have a problem doing it.
Well, no, they're leeches.
I cut off their arms, legs, and heads, dividing each body into 6 pieces.
I would go with 7.
I heard before that blades get easily ruined by the fact when you cut a corpse, so I prepared many kinds of tools.
Well, at least you're prepared.
And I was right. I didn't have to go back and forth between here and my house to get another tool in the middle of work. A long time ago, a construction manager was murdered and his body was dismembered at this place during the dam conflict. He was cut into 6 pieces just like this. Well, I have 2 bodies, so there are 12 pieces here, though. I remember the main suspect is still on the loose, and the victim's arm he hid hasn't been found yet. I wonder where he hid it. I would like to meet him and ask him. I smile wryly. Unlike the arms, legs, and heads, the torsos were difficult to take care of.
Well, yeah, they're the biggest part of the body. Not to mention you're also dealing with a fat man.
I'd thought about cutting them into some pieces, but I decided against it because I thought it'd be troublesome to clean up the mess of the guts. I put each piece in a black trash bag and spray on a lot of deodorant. I'm not sure if it helps against the smell, though. Many bugs flew around me while I was dismembering the corpses, After I finished putting all the pieces into each bag, the bugs were still flying around, but that was just because they could smell the blood. After I cleaned up everything, they were all gone. Now all I need to do is get rid of these 12 black bags. Burning them is the easiest way, but I don't think I can burn them to ashes without using a cremator.
Yeah, the bones would probably still be showing.
The best way is to bury them somewhere. Other than the torsos, every piece is small enough to fit in my backpack. I can easily carry them without being noticed. I wish I could throw them into the river running through the damn construction site. But if I do that, somebody will find them for sure. I've heard on the news that a bag with a part of a body in it was found beside a river several times before. Every time I heard something like that, I always thought the murderer was stupid. I thought about dumping them into the Onigafuchi swamp, but rotten meat floats. I thought about weighting the bags, but there's no guarantee they'll stay down.
We'd grab like a gold ingot or a cinder block.
So that leaves me one choice: to bury them. There are many unexploited mountains at the end of the abandoned districts around Yaguichi and Takatsudo. It's probably the best to bury them somewhere in the mountains.
Well, as long as wild animals don't get into them.
It's safe to bury them here in the trash piles too, but it's not perfectly safe. So I'm going to bury all these bags somewhere deep inside of a mountain in order to complete the erasure of these two. My body joints hurt because I've been using muscles I usually don't use. I clean up the mess very carefully and get into my hideout while still wearing the sweatsuit. I lie down on the mattress. I wash my hands carefully, but there is still dirt and blood under my nails. I should take a shower later and wash it off completely. When I say murder and disposing of bodies, it sounds like I'm the worst evil person of the century. Not really. But that's only true if I get caught.
Right. Wait.
What I did isn't a crime as long as I don't get caught. Plus, I didn't do this because I wanted to commit a crime. I didn't do anything wrong. I did this to protect my father's life and mine. People might curse me, but I don't care about them. I think nobody can pass judgment on my sins in the end. Sins aren't something to pass judgment on. They're something to admit to and atone for. That means nobody can measure the sin of a crime other than the person who committed the crime. Do I regret what I did? Do I feel sorry? No. I don't think I did anything wrong. I truly believe there was no better way than killing them.
Well, I need to keep my mouth shut before I get in trouble.
I'm sure about that because my life has already started to change since the night I killed them. It's a few days earlier. I just came home after I killed Tepai. My father is cleaning his room Tepai trashed earlier. His eyes are swollen. He's been crying.
Reina, where have you been?
I was talking with that man. I told him Rina-san will never come to our house again, so please leave us alone. Therefore, he'll never come back.
I don't think he'll listen and stay away from us that easily. You should watch out for him for a while, too.
It's hard to explain to him why he'll never come back again. I can't tell him he shouldn't worry because I killed him. I grab ice cubes from the freezer, put them in a plastic bag, and hand the bag to him. Dad, here you go. Your cheeks are swollen. It seems like you just noticed it only now.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry about cleaning up the mess. I'll do it. I'll bring the vacuum cleaner.
Reina.
He calls me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. They make a living by deceiving people. You're just being deceived.
Reina, did you know who they were?
Yes, I found out recently. I didn't tell you because I thought you wouldn't believe me. I'm sorry. He looks down. When he told me about the remarriage with Rina, I told him that they were bad people and that they didn't badger games. But he didn't listen to me. So, I'm right that he wouldn't have listened to me. She took advantage of your pain.
I'm a very bad father. Oh, dude.
Then he starts talking about how he met Rina, as if he's trying to make up for his guilt. It was when he was suffering most, and he needed to drink away his sorrow. At a bar he happened to go into, Rina-san was the one who came to his table. It was her job to be a good listener when her customers talked. Rina must have been a great listener and offered words of comfort when he talked about the divorce. If he was emotionally stable, he could have taken it as kindness that she offered for that time only. But he was so desperate that he took it as a new encounter. After that, it became an obvious tragic story. He wanted to believe that it was destiny, and he glamorized everything about her. It's easy to laugh and say that he was dreaming. But I don't blame him because being weak is also part of being human. That is true. He could have been suspicious about her extraordinary sense of money, but he assumed that she did it to cheer him up. He bought everything she asked him to, and he became her prey. He shouldn't have brought his lover to the house where his daughter lived. But he was crazy about her and he didn't even think about it. I've forgotten that I was a father first. What was I thinking? He starts crying. I hold his shoulders gently. It's okay. You realized it. You're my father no matter what. You're the only family I have. He can't stop moaning. We hold each other and cry together. The next day my father gets up early in the morning. He's already cooking breakfast when I get up. And he tells me, "Your father is going to get his act together from today on." Dad, you should have used salad oil before you cooked the sunny side up eggs.
Oh. It's been a long time since I cooked last time.
He scratches the burning eggs on the pan with a spatula and he adds salad oil to it. It's too late. He just made a bigger mess by doing that. But I'm not going to say anything because I want to eat his eggs. I wait at the table quietly. He puts the burned eggs on a plate and he brings it to the table. It looks like he tried to add cheese to it to make it look better, but it's not really working. But it smells good and crispy. It actually stimulates my appetite. The toaster pushes up thick cut toast. I make cafe God, I can never get that right, but I've had it before. With a lot of milk and extra sugar because my father likes it sweet. We put everything on the table. It looks terrible, like a cooking class of an elementary school. But to me it looks precious because I know my father tried very hard to make it, wearing the apron. Great. It smells good. Oh God. I hope it tastes as good as it smells.
It might be better that you do the cooking. I feel bad to make you eat this.
I'll take care of cooking when you get busy with the job. It has been a taboo to talk about work in the house. It's because he hasn't worked since the divorce. It's not only because of the divorce, though. He just didn't have to work because the amount of the compensation money my mother gave him was huge. Plus, I let him be lazy because I felt guilty about the divorce. But my father cleared his wrongdoing by showing repentance to me. And I also atoned for my sin of not doing anything about my mother by doing what I did last night. Now we are free of sin.
I'm going to try to find a job. I'm thinking about going to the employment service agency today.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's not money that he wants. He needs to have a normal lifestyle habit.
I'm old and short of strength. I'm a bit worried if I can find a job.
What kind of job are you looking for?
I'd like to have a desk job, but I don't think a lot of companies would offer me one to an old man like me. I don't know, dude, you'd be surprised.
I can ask my friend. Michan is the daughter of the big landowner in Hinamizawa, so she might be able to find you something.
No, it's okay. I'll do it myself. I have to man up, you know.
I don't remember the last time we enjoyed breakfast like this. I don't even remember the last time we had breakfast together. I feel that the light in the morning is refreshing for the first time in a long time. I want to keep enjoying time like this. But unfortunately, I have to go to school. I tell him that I'll skip school today and that I want him to take me somewhere for fun, but he tries to be a good father and he says I have to go to school. Well, I have to go now.
Okay. Have a good day at school.
He follows me to the front door. I'm a bit embarrassed for some reason. He talks to me while I'm tying my shoes. He followed me here not because he wanted to see me off, but because he wanted to tell me this.
I've been sad since your mother divorced me. But I realized that I shouldn't be sad because I have you, Reina. I didn't have to feel sad.
Dad, that's what a family is about.
Yes. You're right. Again, I'm not a good father because I had to learn such an easy but important thing from my daughter.
Well, I have to go now. Keiichi-kun is waiting for me.
Have a good day. Oh, Reina? I'm going to cook dinner tonight. I'll do the grocery shopping on the way back from the employment service agency. Look forward to it. I promise I won't fail like I did this morning.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Bye!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh! I think it crashed. Oh. Oh, God. I had a mild heart attack. I thought it crashed on me. Oh, God. Whew.
I leave the house. My father sees me off still in the apron. This is the first step of our new life. I finally regained it. I finally regained everything we lost after we left Hinamizawa. My mother isn't here, but I don't feel sad because I have my father. The cry of the cicadas sounds as if they're celebrating my new life. The sunshine is bright and the wind breathes nicely. The only thing that's not nice is the ticking clock? I'm late because I spent too much time talking with my father. Keiichi-kun might be already gone. I don't think he'll be waiting for me for this long. But he's there.
Hey! Good morning!
Good morning. I'm sorry I'm late.
It's okay. I usually make you wait. So it's okay that I wait once in a while.
We're going to be really late. I think we should walk fast. Fast.
Yeah. Let's walk fast. We might have to run at the end.
Michan might be already gone.
She's waiting for sure. We're friends. We never leave each other behind, right? Anyway, did something good happen this morning?
What? Why do you say that?
Well, you look very happy this morning. I just thought something good happened to you.
It seems like the good mood I'm in is showing too obviously for Keiichi-kun to ignore. I have my family and my friends. I feel something warm spreading in my heart. Well, I'll tell you what happened this morning. My father made breakfast, but...
What? Isn't that the right way to cook eggs? You use salad oil for making salads, right?
What? I have to tell Michan and the others you just said that.
Fuck! Jesus Christ!
What did you say? That's very rude. You'll regret that.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like you're ready to fight me.
Hey, what's going on? Satoko, Kei-chan, why don't you two play Sota Uma with each other in our club activity today? It'll be fun.
Soto Uma?
Michan, what is Sota Uma? What?
Sota Uma means Satoko and I place a bet on each other outside the game. The one who played worse than the other has to do our own punishment besides the normal punishment.
That means I get to see one of you do a punishment no matter who loses today. So, what do you say, Satoko? It sounds like a wonderful rule to me. He's going to take a punishment for being at the bottom of the member in the game and another punishment for losing to me. It's wonderful. Great, I like your spirit, Satoko. Alright, let's play today's game with their Soto Uma. It's more fun to think of the punishments than to think about the game.
You're right. I can't wait to see how miserable Satoko's going to look after the punishment.
Keep dreaming, Keiichi-san. Ouch! There. Stop fighting, you two. The game hasn't started yet.
Chie-sensei... Oh, God. Pfft. Fucking voices.
Chie-sensei opens the door and comes in. Get seated, everyone. And let's start homeroom, and you can go home. Everyone gets to their seats. Mi-chan? What? I'm sorry to ruin the mood, but I have to go home after school. I have things to do again today. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry that you have to go. Are you busy with housework or something? Yes. Well, Uncle Mion has no right to stop you when it comes to housework. I don't do housework myself. My housekeepers do. You should keep them sometimes. You should help them sometimes. It'll be good training for married life. Don't worry about that. I already have that kind of skill, you know, to be a good wife. Mi-chan looks like the kind of girl who tries to stay away from boring chores as much as possible, but she actually can do everything. That's who she is. She went through hard times to learn those things, but she acts like she learned without a struggle. That's also who she is. I like that about her. What? Are you going home? Then you won't be able to see Keiji-san go to the teacher's office in an embarrassing uniform. What a shame. It's going to be fun. Pity you have to miss it. Yeah, I'm sorry. You went home right after school for housework yesterday, too. Did something happen? Yeah, kind of. It might take me a few more days. Well, then I guess you can't join us for a while. Maybe. I'll try to finish it as soon as I can. Can we help you with the thing you have to do? If it's something like carrying out old furniture, just let me know. I can go help you out. Are you redecorating your house? Uncle Mion and the others can help you. Oh, I have an idea. We can play a game by helping her out with her housework. At this rate, someone who doesn't help her will be the winner. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Holy shit, did it crash again? And we are back. I don't know what the hell was up with that, but that's twice now it's suddenly crashed. Okay. Did I miss anything? No, doesn't look like it.
Well, it seems like there's nothing we can do. Therefore, I announce
My God!
Therefore, I announce Ryugu Renna's withdrawal from the battle line as of today. I order you to take a rest until you finish doing your housework, to regain your strength and to come back to the battle line. Well, there are many games for 4. Oh, can you play Mahjong, Kei-chan?
Yeah! My dad sometimes forces me to play Mahjong with him and his friends from work.
Oh, we're good at Mahjong, too.
I'm terrible at it.
After that, they fool around with each other, making a lot of noise, like we always do. I look at them and I remind myself that I always have a place to stay. I leave the classroom with a smile. I'm going to go to Yaguichi on my bicycle. I have to find a place to bury the bags of the body parts. Hopefully I can finish burying all of them today before it gets dark. With that, everything will be done.
I don't like the fact that the back of the title is made of bamboo. You guys don't do Gonpai, do you?
I wouldn't be too sure. Keiji-san, you sound like you're traumatized by the bad experience you had with the last card game. Well, I think there are some scratches on them. They're cheap ones, you know. But it's more fun when we have an element of doubt, don't you think? How many reds do you want to use? 6?
Rika-chan sounds professional, and it scares me. Oh well. I should start with checking the tiles. Playing Mahjong with my family is different from playing it as a club activity. I have to be cautious. Otherwise there might be a possibility that one tile is missing, or that there's one extra of a particular tile in there.
We don't do such things. But it's interesting. I didn't think about that. I see.
Let's put them all face up on the table and check them before we start the game. Come on. Everybody flips the tiles to face up. One dragon is missing.
One Lopin and one Loso are missing too. Oh, and one Lowan is missing too.
What's going on? There's so many missing tiles.
Oh, I remember. Hold on a second.
Mion hits the palm of her hand with her fist, moves her chair aside, and sticks her finger into a gap of the floorboards. And then she picks up a tile from there.
There you go. This is the dragon. I don't remember where I put the other 3.
Wait, Mion, why are there so many tiles hidden in the classroom?
Well, you know.
It seems like she hid the other 3 tiles somewhere in the classroom and forgot where. We can't play Mahjong with 3 tiles missing. I suggest playing another game, but Mion insists that we have to find them, and she suggests playing a treasure hunting game, namely finding the 3 missing tiles.
As long as I can make him do the punishment, I don't care what kind of game we play. But, to be honest with you, I'd like to play something better than that.
I agree. Plus, you're not sure they are here in the classroom, right, Mion?
I think they are here. Or Uncle Mion might have put them in his pocket and left them by the washing machine. I don't remember. I recommend checking the total number of tiles after we play Mahjong with me next time.
Everybody except Mion nods in agreement.
What? You don't want to play the tile hunting game in the classroom?
In other words, cleaning up the mess Mion made to cheat. Do it yourself. Don't use our club activity for your private purposes.
That's fine, then. So, what do you want to do? We can't play Mahjong now. What are we playing then? Does anybody have any ideas?
Mion usually decides the game because she's the leader. I can't come up with anything on the spot. While we're all thinking, Mion hits her palm with her fist just like she did earlier.
I got an idea. If you don't want to do the tile hunting, let's do a real treasure hunt. What name comes to your mind when I say treasure hunting? It's Rena, right?
You mean, are we going to the trash piles of the damn construction site? Oh God, no!
I don't really go there often, but the place is huge. I've heard that the place is haunted by the ghost of a man who was murdered there. His body was cut into pieces. We shouldn't go near that place.
Yeah, kind of odd thing to say, Rika.
A ghost? I like it. That's even better.
I didn't know there was a rumor like that. What I know is that someone who was murdered there and that the main suspect is still on the loose. He hid the arm of the victim and hasn't been found yet, right?
There's a rumor that the manager, the victim of the dismembering murder case, became a ghost and that he's wandering around the place to find his missing arm.
Oh, this is not fucking good. And the music clearly reflects that.
Rika, you don't like ghosts? Don't tell me you're still scared of ghosts. I'm a shrine maiden. I can see them even though I don't want to.
Wow, you can see ghosts? I've heard before that certain people can see ghosts just like they see us.
That's ridiculous. I've been living with Rika for a long time, but I've never seen anything like that. That's just because you can't see them, but I can. For example, when you're asleep in your bed, I always see... Nipa. Rika? Why'd you laugh like that? What were you about to say? What do you see when I'm sleeping?
Satoko, I'm sorry for you. You can pretend you're not scared of ghosts during the day, but I'm pretty sure you'll get scared when it gets dark. I'm going to make a silent phone call tonight just to scare the hell out of her.
Including myself, I think nobody really likes to go there. Rena is the only one who likes to play there.
If Rena finds a ghost when she's in her adorable mode, she might take it home with her.
That's so true. She'd say, I'm taking you home with me.
It's so easy to picture it and we all laugh.
Well, let's do it. Let's go treasure hunting. You win if you find a ghost. You get a point if you find the victim's missing right arm. And you also get a point if you find, anything that Rena would like. We can show what we found to Rena later, and we'll let her decide who's the winner. Oh, I can't wait to win the game and make Keiichi-san take the double punishment.
Hey, Satoko, are you sure you want to win? That means you're going to see a ghost. Ooh.
Stop it! You're getting on my nerves. I don't want to go there. I'm scared of ghosts, too. What do you mean you're scared of ghosts, too? Who are you referring to? I'm not scared at all. Hey, Keiichi-san, stop doing that! Let's go, everybody. Let's find the ghost.
Oh, no! And it'll be done. Everything will be done. That's right. It will when the Higurashi cry. This is not good.
This is the opposite of good.
Wait, are we back here? From the beginning? Okay.
So, that's it.
Rena finishes making her confession. There's no applause or a curtain call. It's a quiet and lonely stage that Rena plays on alone. I think I've forgotten to blink since her confession started. It seems like everybody was feeling the same way. Rena looks at us, as if she's a teacher who's waiting for questions from her students. We notice that she is imitating what Chie-sensei does at the end of class, and we smile wryly.
I went to Yagauchi earlier to find a place to bury these bags. It was hard to pick a place I wanted to make sure that nobody would find them. I even thought about burying them in my backyard because it might be the safest. But I know it's not. My father might start planting vegetables one day and he might find them. So it's better that I bury them somewhere in the mountains. Plus, I don't want to let her near my father even though she's dead.
I feel like I did something very bad. Rena's plan was going smoothly. If I'd played mahjong instead of insisted on doing something else, this wouldn't have happened. When I look at the others, they all seem to be regretting their actions. If Mion hadn't come up with the idea to play at the trash piles, if Satsuko hadn't found the broken refrigerator, if Rika-chan had convinced us not to play at the trash piles, Rena could have spent a few more days, and she could have gotten rid of these trash bags. They would have never been found. Then what would have happened next? Nothing. Everything would have been the same. We could have had happy and peaceful days. Rena's been through a hard time, but she's been forcing her face into a smile for us. The fake smile was supposed to become a real smile one day, and she was supposed to have peaceful days for real. None of us was supposed to notice that Rena was going through a hard time. After a while, Rena was supposed to be able to forget the bitter memory of killing these two, and she was supposed to live as if nothing had happened. But now, all of her effort and courage is ruined.
I know killing people is a bad thing to do. I didn't want to do this, and I don't want to do this in the future. But I believe this was the best solution, and I also believe I didn't do anything wrong. I just took the chance that God provides everyone equally, and I used it with utmost effort in order to regain my happiness and my peaceful days. Some people say that you should live a pure and tranquil life, and be patient with misfortune rather than living as an opposite life and being happy. But it's easy to say that for people who are satisfied in life. Nobody can belittle my effort. They should have rather praised me for what I did. They should rather celebrate me. Ryugu Rena fought for her own fate, and she won.
I don't know why I did it, but I interrupted her. I shouldn't have, but I thought I needed to tell her this, so I did. But, Rena, why didn't you tell us?
What do you mean?
We're friends, aren't we? Friends are always on your side without condition, no matter what. I thought friends were family. If you told us about it, we could have helped you. Then you wouldn't have had to get your hands dirty. What Rena told us made me sad. That's why I can't help myself from saying this. Rena told us clearly that she did the best she could. She told us that right to our faces. That's the same thing as saying that she didn't need us in order to do the best she could.
Kei-chan, you can say that now, but...
Stop and let me finish. I believe that friends are there to share both happiness and hardship. If you came to talk to us, I believe we could have done something different. We could have led you to a better future.
A better future? There's no better future than what I have now. This is the best future.
That's not true! My loud voice seems to scare her a little. I know Rena doesn't believe that this is the best future. She just didn't have any other choice. If she had other choices, she wouldn't have chosen this one for sure. I know you don't believe that because you're crying.
What? Who's crying? Me? I'm not crying.
Yes, you are. You've been crying the whole time. Haven't you realized that? In fact, I don't see any tears in her eyes or on her face. But that doesn't mean she isn't crying. Rena is crying. She's crying because she ended up being driven into a tough corner after all her hard work to become happy. Her tears look so sad. Anyone who can't see her tears isn't really thinking about her.
I'm not crying. I won't cry. I did the right thing. I made the best choice. There's no reason why I would cry. That's ridiculous. I have no idea what you're talking about, Keiichi.
I know you're crying. Rena stops laughing all of a sudden. She speaks with a cold expression on her face.
Okay. Let's say I did what you just told me. I told you all about my father and that woman. Then what?
Well,
Then what?
Rena's never talked to me like this before. She looks at me as if she's mocking my ignorance, and it makes me shut my mouth.
You don't know what happened last year.
Last year?
Yeah, last year. It happened in June of the 57th year of Showa. There was this guy who had no choice but to kill a person to free himself from his misfortune.
Satoko gasps. Oh.
Keiichi-kun, I don't think you know much about him. About Hojo Satoshi-kun.
I know that he's Satoko's older brother. He's been missing, but people say he transferred. There's a rumor that he killed his aunt for Satoko. Therefore, it's been taboo to talk about Satoshi in my class. Actually, in all of Hinamizawa.
Satoshi-kun was under the same conditions as I was. He just wanted to have happy and peaceful days. He just wanted to live peacefully and quietly with his sister. You've heard about what kind of person Satoko-chan's aunt was, haven't you?
If what I've heard is true, then this is what happened. After Satoko lost her parents, her uncle and aunt got custody of her and her brother, but they were scabby people. Especially, her aunt bullied Satoko cruelly. Satoko was the kind of guy who couldn't even kill a bug, but his aunt probably was the only one whom he didn't have a problem killing. That's how terrible a person she was.
Everybody in Hinamizawa knew about the trouble the Hojo family had. Everybody knew that the aunt was a very hysterical and crazy person and that she bullied Satoshi-kun and Satoko-chan. Everybody knew everything. Everybody in our class knew it too. Mi-chan, the future leader of the three families, knew it. Rika-chan knew it, and Satoko-chan knew it too, of course. Because she was the one experiencing it. The friends that you're talking about knew what Satoshi-kun was going through more than anybody in Hinamizawa. And what happened? Did anybody help Satoshi-kun? No, nobody did. Mi-chan had the most influence in all of Hinamizawa, but she made up a lame excuse saying that it might create a conflict between the Sonozaki family and the villagers. In the end, all she did was to offer him her irresponsible sympathy and hurt him. That's not true! Yes, it is! Satoshi-kun knew it too. He knew that you were only pretending to sympathize with him. He knew that you had no intention to help him. That's why Satoshi-kun started to hate you, Mi-chan. He said that you always told him you were his friend, but you turned out to be just part of the Sonozaki family who bullied the Hojo family after all. I didn't mean to... You didn't do anything to help him. You rejected his request for help by sympathizing with him. Do you have any idea how much it hurt him?
Mio tries to find something to say, but she fails to do so. She bites her lip.
Rika-chan, you were the same too.
Now Rena points her fingers at Rika-chan. Unlike Mio, Rika-chan looks emotionless and empty, just like Rena does, so basically Burn-Costal.
Rika-chan, you don't have a big power in Hinamizawa like Mi-chan, but your word carried a lot of weight with the old people who came to your shrine, didn't it? There was something you could have done for him, but you didn't. Rika-chan, you did exactly the same thing as Mi-chan did. You just pretended to be his friend. All you did was sympathize with him and Satoko-chan. You didn't try to help him out of the trouble they were in. Can you imagine how cruel and merciless your sympathy was to them? Satoshi-kun wanted help. He wanted somebody to help him. He was at a dead end and couldn't get out of there by himself. He was sinking all the way down to his neck in a swamp reaching for help and waiting for someone to grab his hand. You're right.
Rika-chan's voice sounds calm and mature. It's very different from how she usually sounds.
I didn't know how to save them. All I could do was to offer them some consolation. I'm not going to deny my sin, nor am I going to make excuses for not trying hard enough to find a way to save them.
That was some good water, sorry. I really needed to drink it.
I didn't know you knew.
Rena smiles meanly. I look away from her because she looks ugly now.
And Satoko-chan, I don't know if you believe me when I say this to you, but your sin is big too.
I don't understand why she's blaming Satoko. I try to take her side, but I gasp in surprise when I look at Satoko. She looks like she's accepting the sin that Rena is talking about. I guess Satoko wants to confess her sin before Rena pointed it out to her. Satoko opens her mouth first. Oh god, no, not that expression again.
I don't know if you believe me when I tell you this, but I realized it on my own. I know what my sin is. I didn't know you knew either. I realized it on the night that Nini disappeared. I wish I'd realized it while he was still there. I understand how you feel. It's too late for regrets, right? I feel the same way. It happened to me before. That's why I fought this time. Satoko-chan, I'm sure you can atone for your guilt in the future. Because you realized it. But that won't bring Nini back. He's not coming back.
Satoko looks down sadly. Usually Satoko says the opposite thing. She always says Satoshi is coming back one day without a doubt. But now she accepts the fact that he's not coming back. She accepts it easily, as if she knows it. Because he's her brother.
Do you understand now?
She asks me all of a sudden.
That's how they were in the 57th year of Showa. Satoshi-kun talked to everybody he thought could help him. He told them that he needed help. He told them that what he was going through. He consulted with them. He even came to me, even though I just moved here at that time. I don't think it was embarrassing or shameful that he did that. People get desperate when they're unhappy. Satoshi-kun tried very hard. But he couldn't do anything about the situation, and he asked for help. He kept asking for help. You said that friends are always on your side no matter what, but this is what friends really are. They're actually just people you hang around with for fun. They don't help you when you need them. Friends are always like that. That's why I decided not to tell anybody when I found out that I was in the same situation as Satoshi-kun. I know that nobody would help me, and that nobody could. I didn't need sympathy. It only makes me sad. It's better that I at least have fun at school. In fact, I did have fun at school. I was very happy. I was able to forget about the trouble I had with that woman even for a short amount of time at school. I wish Satoshi-kun could have noticed it too. If he did, he wouldn't have had to feel hopeless all the time, and he could have at least enjoyed time at school. He didn't have any other choice than beating his aunt to death anyway. I didn't know how to help him at that time because I just moved here. All I could do was just listen to him and try to make him feel better. But there might have been something more I could have done. I might have been lazy in thinking about what I could do. But at that time, in the 57th year of Showa, I thought I was his friend.
Jesus. Rena's self-derisive laughter changes to a grievous cry. Her cry gradually breaks our relationship of trust. Nobody will help me. Friends are just people whom you have fun with. You can't trust them. The more Rena cries, the clearer we hear her voice in her heart. Mio and Satoko and Rika-chan look into the distance with sad expressions on their faces. I am the only one who can contradict her now. I have to tell her this, and I know she knows it too. But she just needs to hear from someone. I prepare myself to be strong and tell her something that might hurt everybody. I understand, Rena. I understand what happened in the 57th year of Showa. I understand that they were heartless. But Satoko also told you this. They realized their sins. They regretted what they did and didn't do. So it should be different this time. They can understand your pain and they can help you.
You weren't here last year. I'm afraid you don't know what you're talking about.
That's right. I wasn't here last year. I wish I were. If I was here last year, I would have fought for Satoshi.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. I've learned how important friends are since I moved to Hinamizawa. I'll fight for my friends. If I was here last year and knew what Satoko's aunt did to her and Satoshi, I would have given Satoshi the opportunity to beat her to death. I would have done it. I would have done it in 1500 seconds. I wouldn't have even hesitated. I would have beaten her to death with a metal bat.
It's easy for you to say, but you don't know the kind of determination you need to kill a person.
I don't know that. And I don't need to know that either. You know why? It's because it's an obligation to help friends.
You don't understand, Keiichi-kun. You don't know how disgusting it is to kill a person. You can never get rid of the dirt on your hands no matter how hard you try to justify it.
You're right. Killing a person in order to save your friends is such a short-sighted way of thinking. It might sound like I'm against your statement, but I think things aren't meant to go well when you take care of an evil matter by doing an evil deed. I'm proud of my conviction that I wouldn't hesitate to kill a person for the sake of my friends. But the peace I get by doing an evil deed won't last forever. We all know that by instinct. That's why we despite evil things, I think.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
She doesn't have to remind me of that. I know that I'm not making any sense. But for some reason, it's a world I can easily imagine. It's a world in which I saved my precious friends by doing an evil deed. But the peace I seized by doing an evil deed didn't last long. It got worse. I ended in a way as terrible as the sin I committed. It's a memory that isn't supposed to exist. I don't know why, but I know for a fact that it happened in the world of What If. Oh! I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know why, but I can't help myself from smiling in embarrassment even in a situation like this. But I know that you know it too, Rena. You know that you didn't want to get your hands dirty. You're crying because you wanted us to help you, but we didn't. You didn't want to be a murderer. You're lying that this was the best choice. That's why you've been crying.
That's not true.
That's not true. Oh, Jesus. You know better than anybody if it's true or not. I know you've been regretting this from the beginning. Even if you were able to hide the corpses without being caught, you couldn't have washed off the blood on your hands. How are you going to fool yourself into believing that you won't have to live the rest of your life bearing the burden of your sin? There's only one way to do that. You have to believe that this was the only choice. That means you have to live your life denying your friends and denying that your friends are worth consulting with. Are we that kind of friends to you, Rena? No. You always believe that friends help each other. Your friends were immature last year. That's why they couldn't help Satoshi from his unfortunate fate. But people grow up. We don't make the same mistake twice. We don't want to regret the same thing. We don't want to regret the same thing twice. So believe me, we're your friends. We're on your side.
That means I was immature too, right?
That's right. You were immature because you couldn't believe that your friends grew up. But I'm not going to blame you for that. We didn't notice until today that you've been through such a hard time alone. People can communicate their feelings only by talking to others. So, there was nothing we could do because we didn't talk. In that sense, it's hard to say it, but we have to admit that this was meant to happen today in order to make your choice the best one for real. We finally talked about our feelings. We now know that you've been distrusting your friends since last year and that everybody regretted what they did and didn't do. So now we finally became true friends.
Finally? But it's too late. We always notice our sins after it's too late.
That's not necessarily true. For instance, I can understand the things you did.
What do you mean by that?
I understand that depriving people of their lives is an unforgivable crime, but I also understand that my friend Rena had no other choice but to do this. So I don't think you're corrupted, and I'm not scared of you. If something like this happened next time, we should talk and think about what we can do together. But this already happened, and I understand that. When I say I understand you, I mean I forgive you. I don't deny your actions. I tell everybody this time. I say it to all of my friends. I accept what Rena did. I accept that she had no other choice than to do this. and that this was the last resort she had to take after thinking it through many times. So, I'm going to side with her.
Kei-chan.
Of course, if she killed them for money or some other stupid reason, I'd drag her to the police. But Rena didn't do this for such reasons. She couldn't run away from it, and she thought it through before she came to this point. If she's guilty of anything, she's only guilty for not talking to us about this beforehand. But I forgive her for that. So I also forgive her for coming to this point.
Keiichi.
So, I beg you all, please forgive me for not noticing Rena's situation and for letting her go through it alone. My sin is that I allowed a day like today to come to pass.
Keiichi-san.
We're the only ones who know about these bags. If we keep it to ourselves, everything will be fine. Ren doesn't have to worry about a thing. Let's hide them somewhere like she planned. We'll cleanse ourselves with salt later and that's it. Let's forgive each other for our sins, and then we'll regain the happy and peaceful days. This is it, right? Rena, this is the future you chose, right? This is the best choice, right?
Keiichi-kun.
I jump on the hood of the abandoned car Rena is standing on and I reach for her hands. Admit it! This is the world you wanted! This is the choice you wanted to make! But this is something that you can't choose by yourself. All of us have to reach for each other's hands so that Rena can make the choice. That means I can't make it happen by myself. I need everybody to reach for each other's hands. So Rena, you need to do it too. When all of us hold hands together, that's when you can go to the world that exists beyond the choice you made.
Keiichi-kun, I appreciate it, if you really mean it. But, I'm not sure if that's what everybody wants.
A little hand touches my hand. It's Rika-chan. Rika-chan.
Rena, you aren't corrupted. You didn't give up. You seized your fate even though you had to dirty your hands to do it. I have no reason not to accept you.
Rika-chan's small hand is strong and she talks eloquently.
I know how comfortable it is to feel corrupted by disappointment at everything in this world after getting lost in a maze of misfortunes. That's why I can understand how tough you are and how hard you fought, alone without giving up. I'm proud of having you in my life. I agree with Keiichi. I forgive you for your sin, so please forgive me for mine too. Rika-chan. I was just a little girl without power, but I could have fought. I will not give up on my own fate. I'll fight like you did. So I ask you to accept me as your friend.
Rika-chan usually acts childish, but now she's a totally different person. She means every word she's saying. And then another little hand reaches out our hands. Satoko. Satoko puts her hand over mine and Rika-chan's. She doesn't say anything, looking down for a while. Rika-chan urges her to speak.
Rika and I lost our parents, but we never cried about it. That's because we have you, a family made of friends. I want us to continue to be a family for you. It's natural to get it all out and to confess everything to your family because they're your family. So I think today was a great opportunity for us. I appreciate that we had the chance to forgive each other for our sins.
A family made of friends. Satoko, I like that.
I forgive you for your sin, Rena-san. Please forgive me for mine too.
A big hand reaches for ours. It's Mion's.
I always thought it was my job as your leader to talk about the importance of friends. So I guess I'm not that good a leader after all, huh?
Mion.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of you.
Mion still smiles and scratches her head.
Rena, I'm ashamed of myself. As your friend and as a leader for not being able to notice what you've been through. I want you to forgive me for that. Of course, I also forgive you for not telling us about it. You couldn't tell me because I wasn't good enough for you. I thought I was trying to be a good leader for you, but I guess I wasn't doing it right. It's my fault. So, I forgive you for your sin, Rena.
Rena, now you have all of our hands. We're all ready for you. It's your turn. Reach out for us. Come to us. This is the world you wanted. You have all of our hands for you to reach. So don't hesitate.
I'm a murderer. I'll put you into trouble.
Rena, we are... Oh, sorry. Rika-chan, you don't need to say anything. We're all reaching for your hand. What else do we need to say or prove? Renata, you don't need to say anything. All you need to do is reach out for us. Come on, Rena. This is real. It's not too late. You still have choices you can make. So choose. You can still make it. Come on. It's not too late to start over again. Rena slowly reaches out. And her hand touches ours. She doesn't hold our hands. All she needs to do is to touch our hands to show us her will. Rena chooses to live, to share her life with her friends rather than to refuse them for the rest of her life. I take a step closer to her and firmly grab her wrist. It's getting dark, and some stars have appeared in the sky. We all forgave each other for our sins for the first time. It's a little embarrassing, but Rena's tears make us all cry, and we just keep crying together. We stand in a circle, holding shoulders and putting our heads together in the middle. We are a family made of friends. We forgive each other and enjoy the happiness. There's a memory in the back of my mind, but it's not supposed to exist. I tried to save one of my friends in that world. In order to do that, I rejected all of my other friends. I acted recklessly alone, and I brought about the end of the world. The situation we have here is the same as the incident in that faraway world, in the sense that people have been deprived of their lives in order to save one friend of mine. But other than that, it's different. We have Rena, Mion, Satoko, Rika-chan, and myself. Nobody is missing. We're going to regain them. We're going to regain happy and peaceful days. The road might be a little rough, but we'll go through it. We all will, together. Okay. We went to the place in the mountain of Yagoichi that Rena had picked for burying the bags. Carrying the corpses is a scary thing to do, but it makes us united more strongly because of that. Since each part of the corpse is in a plastic trash bag, we can tell what's inside each bag by touching it. First, we force ourselves to laugh whenever we have to touch it because we're scared. But after a while, we get used to it, to the point where we make jokes about it. It's probably a bluff. We all try our best. Mion seems to have a detailed knowledge of how to hide corpses, and she tells me to dig a hole deeper. Oh, good idea! Rika-chan helps to carry the bags. Satoko uses her talent of setting traps to perfectly camouflage the place where we buried the bags. Nice job, Satoko. Me? I'm in charge of digging the hole. Rena dug it earlier, but I made it a little deeper. After we finish all that, we walk back to the place where we parked our bicycles, and we look back at the place where we buried the bags. It's completely unnoticeable. We'll never be able to find the place again once we leave for home. That's how perfect it looks.
Great. Thank you all for your hard work. This is it. It's time to go home.
Mion says it cheerfully as if we just finished our club activity or something. We have no more bags to carry. It indicates that we no longer have any burden to carry as well. We get on our bicycles, but Rena is still standing there looking into the distance. Hey, Rena?
What? I'm sorry. I think I caught a cold or something. I feel feverish and dizzy.
Rena's face looks slightly red. Mion touches Rena's forehead. Her forehead actually is a little warm. She had a tough day today. She had to go through so many things today. No shit! She had to find a place to hide the corpses. She had to dig a hole. We caught her with the bags. We talked about our feelings, and we forgave each other. She must be exhausted after a day like that. Rena, you should rest well when you get home.
Yes, thank you. I will.
Rena, we forgave each other for everything, so don't blame yourself anymore, okay?
You were right about me.
What do you mean?
I couldn't fool myself. No matter how hard I tried to justify what I did, I was still scared. Look at me. I'm still shaky even with all the help I got from you. If you hadn't found me with the corpses, if I'd taken care of this alone, I wouldn't have been able to bear the burden. I'm pretty sure I would have been smashed by the pressure.
She says with a wry smile. It might take her a long time to heal from the pain. but it must be 100 times shorter than the time it would have taken if she did this all alone. Rena's home is the closest from here. Rena goes home and the four of us are left. Mion suggests an idea.
I think we should just forget about today. What do you think? I agree. I think that's the best way for Rena-san, too. Rena's a strong girl. If we act like nothing happened, she'll act that way, too.
If you keep acting, it becomes real, right?
We'll be able to forget about it by not talking about it. Our goal is to forget about it completely. I think we'll keep wondering whether or not the day of reckoning will come for the rest of our lives. You're probably right about that. It's not going to be easy to forget.
Even if I can't forget about it for the rest of my life, that's fine with me. The most important thing is to keep it in my heart forever.
It's important that we don't make her think about it.
We nod in agreement. I can see my house now. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow. See you at school. Just like always.
Just like always. I'll set a perfect trap for you, just like always. Goodbye, Kei-chan. After I leave them, I still feel hot and dizzy. It feels really weird. I'm even staggering to the front door. I feel as if I'm floating in the air. It feels like I just took a very strong medicine against a cold. Today, something very shocking, something that made me super happy, and something very embarrassing happened to me. I feel as if my heart and mind are about to explode because they're filled with happiness and sadness. I don't know whether I made a crucial mistake today or if I had the happiest day of my life. I don't know which it is, and all I can do is stare blankly into space. I feel frustrated too. Even though it was my friends, I was caught in the act of abandoning the corpses. But at the same time, I feel relieved that my reliable friends accepted what I did. Those emotions are mixed up in my heart, and they're equally strong, making it difficult for me to decide what I'm feeling. I'm losing my sense of balance. It feels as if the world is warping around me. I hear sounds as if I'm in a shower. Everything gives me a feeling of unreality. When those emotions are about to make me lose my control, I feel heat on my wrist. The part where Keiichi-kun grabbed me earlier starts throbbing. My emotions aren't really cooperating with me, but this heat on my wrist calms them down for me. I don't know how to express what I felt when my friends and I held shoulders together in a circle earlier, but the feeling is the only thing I know that's real. I'm home. What? As soon as I open the front door, I smell it. It smells really good. My father isn't good at cooking, but he likes to try to cook a creative dish. I remember he used to cook something very challenging whenever he was in a good mood. So the smell is a sign of him being in a good mood. That's why I always like this smell. The reason why he's in a good mood is because he found a job. He didn't just find any job, he found a job with a company created by friends from his old work. They remembered my father and promised to hire him willingly. He tells me that some of his other friends from the old company are also working there. It must be very encouraging for him to work with people he knows, because he hasn't worked for a long time. The dinner looks great in contrast to how it tastes. It's to celebrate his new life, to show his determination, to regain the bond with his daughter and to make a clean start. I talked about a lot of things with my father that night. It's been a long time since the last time I talked with him like this. I don't remember when it was, but it reminds me of the days I was still happy. That means I finally regained a happy life. My father still believes that Tepai is coming back one day, so he's still very cautious about locking the doors and windows, and he gets scared every time someone rings the doorbell. I tell him so many times that they will never come back, but I can't convince him because I can't tell him the reason why they won't. He will eventually realize that, and I'm sure it won't take too long. My heart is full of many, many emotions today. If emotions can actually burst a heart open, it might happen to me today. I think my brain is in a state of excitement because so many things happened at once. My head is still fuzzy, but I managed to get into my bed. I feel like the ground is moving. I totally lost my sense of reality. I remember that I once felt like this when I got the flu. I might get a high fever tomorrow, but I don't care. I don't care if I get sick tomorrow. I just want to enjoy the fact that I took a step towards my choice. Keiichi-kun told me that today. The high fever and the dizziness make me feel like frustrated for some reason. But whenever I feel frustrated, I feel the heat on my wrist too. I grab my wrist with my left hand tightly. It makes the frustration go away, and it brings me relief. Even the dizziness I didn't like just before makes me feel like I'm in a soft down futon bed right now. I'm going to fall asleep in the down futon on my first night in this new world. This dizziness didn't go away for a few days, but I gradually got used to it. This new world looks like the world I used to live in before, but the sunshine is a little bit brighter, and Keiichikun's smile looks a little bit more gentle than before. We make more noise than we used to. We spend every day slowly but in high spirits. Oh, what an idiot I am. I underestimated the dizziness and I caught a summer cold in June. I want to get better as soon as possible. I should take a day off from the club activity, but I force myself to play with them every day, and that makes it hard for me to get better. I finally learned the lesson recently. I don't need to feel frustrated. There's no limit to happiness in this world. As long as we keep wishing for it, it'll continue forever. I don't need to feel frustrated anymore because tomorrow I'll have the happiness I have today. We'll have the Watsunagashi Festival next Sunday. Michan tells us that we'll have a lot of fun and that we'll go extra crazy. I can't wait for next Sunday.
Oh God, my heart. I can't handle it. Notice from the Forest Service. Oh? Notice from the Forest Service. What is it? It's still June, yet the air is filled with the cries of the cicadas. How's everyone in Hinamizawa doing? The Watsunagashi Festival is coming just around the corner. Some staff members of the Forest Service are going to perform a wood sculpting demonstration sale at the festival. We'll be happy to lend our tools and teach you kids how to do the wood sculpting. It'll be an excellent memorial gift. Also, we would like to inform you that we're going to cut down the woods on the hills during the summer as part of the number X4th landscape management project. This project is to preserve the beauty of the forest by cutting down the old trees and planting new ones. The Forest Service needs volunteers who are interested in helping us cut down the old trees. You can enjoy the beauty of nature under the blue sky through the experience of preservation activity. The project will begin during the summer break season, so you can bring your kids too. This will be a good opportunity for your kids to have a valuable experience. The location of the project is the forests of the Takatsudo and Yaguichi areas. So, no. That is not good at all.
Shit.
Okay, chapter 6. Oh boy. That's not good. That is not good. Okay, thoughts on this. That little comment about Keiichi suddenly having a memory that shouldn't exist. The hell? I need to think about that. Having a memory that doesn't exist. Does that have to do with Tatari Goroshi? Maybe? But how would that work? This is interesting. Although, I need to pay attention to what Mion said. Let's just pretend like this never happened. So, if this did happen, does that stand or say that this also happened in the other arcs? They just pretended that it didn't happen? But, wait, Okay, I need to... Okay, I need to think. Okay. I don't... My fucking brain. This story does this shit to me. My brain starts to cease to function. So I'm going to end it there before before what was left of my brain starts easing out of him. Oh shit, it's already on the floor. Fuck, it's soaking the carpet. Okay, I gotta go. Bye, guys.